Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Sabrina binti Salihuddin.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurisha Jani binti Mat Husin.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Siti Anifah Iliana binti Ibrahim.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Noritaya Hasira binti Sulaiman.
As for today, let me discuss the purpose of the Employees Provident Fund Act of 1991, a federal statutory body under the purview of the Ministry of Finance. It managed the compulsory savings plan and retirement planning for private sector in Malaysia. The Employees Provident Fund EPF scheme 1991 in Malaysia was established to provide retirement benefits for private sector employees and non-pensionable public sector employees. Its primary objective is to ensure that employees have sufficient savings to support themselves financially after retirement. Both employers and employees contribute a portion of the employee's salary to the EPF account monthly, creating a safety net for financial security during retirement years. The EPF invests contribution in various financial instruments with the returns credited to members' accounts, helping grow their savings over time. There are 4 categories of employees that I would like to highlight, which are private sector employees, where all private sector employees are comprehensively covered to ensure they benefit from retirement savings and financial security. The scheme applies to employees across all private sector industries and sectors, including manufacturing, services, agriculture, construction, and retail, with no exemption based on company size. It covers full-time, part-time, temporary, and casual workers, ensuring all receive appropriate retirement benefits for their employment duration. Employers are mandated to make monthly contribution to the EPF on behalf of their employees, following stipulated rates based on employee salaries, and must ensure timely submission to avoid penalties. Employees are required to contribute a portion of their salary to their EPF account, matched by their employer's contribution, enhancing their retirement savings. Each employee has an individual EPF account where contributions are accrued, interests are managed, allowing them to track their savings. Next, we have a contract employees. These employees are individuals working under a contract of service, whether written or oral, express or implied, are covered by this Act. This includes full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. Contract employees, like their full-time counterparts, are required to contribute a portion of their earnings to the EPF. Employers are also obligated to make corresponding contribution for these employees based on the rates stipulated by the EPF regulations. The contributions are calculated as a percentage of the employee's salary and are submitted on a monthly basis. Even though their job is temporary, contract employees are guaranteed to save money for retirement by being included in the EPF system. Every contract worker has a separate EPF account to which are credited the employer's contribution along with the employee's contributions, as well as the earnings from the EPF investment. Thirdly is domestic workers who work as housekeepers, nannies, and cooks employed by private household are also included under the EPF scheme. Employers must contribute on behalf of their domestic workers on a monthly basis, determined by the employee's wage as per EPF requirements, if they choose to register the worker. The employer matches the amount that domestic workers put to their EPF account, which they also contribute a percentage of their salary to. Every registered domestic worker has a separate Employee Provident Fund EPF account, to which both the employees and the employer's payments are credited. The interest earned on this investment is determined by the EPF. This inclusion provides access to a structured retirement savings plan for domestic workers. This gives them financial security and the flexibility to withdraw funds in part of requirements like housing, education, or medical bills. Lastly, the employees that are covered by the Act are foreign workers. These foreign workers employed in Malaysia are required to contribute to the EPF, subject to specific rules and regulations. However, there are certain exceptions and specific conditions applicable to their contribution and withdrawals. Foreign workers employed in Malaysia are included in the retirement savings framework, with specific guidelines ensuring their coverage. Employers of foreign workers are generally required to make EPF contribution on behalf of their employees, mirroring the contribution rates for Malaysian employees. This means both the employer and the foreign worker make monthly contribution based on a percentage of the worker's salary.
As an employer, you are required to pay EPF contribution for any individual you have hired to work under a contract of service. You are obligated to fulfill specific responsibilities, including to register your organization and employees with the EPF, ensure orderly contribution and record keeping, as well as comply with the existing policies and requirements. You must make sure that the correct monthly contributions are deducted from your workers' wages and also from the employer's contribution. Thus, all Malaysian private sector employees and non-pensionable public sector employees must contribute to the EPF, while non-Malaysian citizens have the option to participate. In accordance with Section 52, both employees and employers of individuals covered by this Act must make monthly contribution based on their salaries as outlined in the third schedule. Following Section 41(1), employers who do not register employees with EPF within 7 days of employment could face a maximum prison sentence of 3 years or a fine of up to 10,000 ringgit or both. When and what to contribute? Employer must make the monthly payment on or before the 15th of the month. For example, salary for March 2026. Therefore, the contribution month is April 2026 and it has to be paid either before or on 15 April 2026. Then, the employee needs to pay both the employees and the employer's contribution to the EPF. Employers may deduct the employee's share from their salaries for his or her contribution. So, what is the contribution rate? The contribution rate is the percentage of contribution between the employers and the employees. To calculate contribution for your employees, you will need to take into account a number of factors, including the monthly salary rate as well as the age of your employees. If we look at this table, for Malaysia, with no limit on the monthly salary rate and the age is 60 years old and above, or called as stage 2, the employee share will be 0% and the employee share will be 4%. Furthermore, Malaysian permanent residents, PR or non-Malaysian, that registered as members before 1 August 1998 with a monthly rate salary is 5,000 and below, the employee share for stage 1, where below 60 years old, will be 11% and the employee share will be 13%. However, for stage 2, those above 60 years old, that only applicable for permanent resident, PR, and non-Malaysian who registered as member before 1 August 1998, only the employee's share will be 5.5% and the employee share will be 6.5%. Next, Malaysian or permanent residents or non-Malaysian that registered as member before 1 August 1998 with a monthly rate salary is more than 5,000 ringgit, the employee share for stage 1, while below 60 years old, will be 11% and the employee share will be 12%. However, for stage 2, who are above 60 years only, applicable for permanent resident, PR, and non-Malaysian, the employee share will be 5.5% and the employee's share will be 6%. Last but not least, for non-Malaysian who registers as EPF members from 1 August 1998 with no limit on the monthly salary rate, the employee share for stage 1, where below 60 years old, will be 11% and the employee share will be 5 ringgit. However, for stage 2, those above 60 years old, the employee share will be 5.5% and the employee share will be also 5 ringgit. Hence, all of the contribution can be referred to in the third schedule, which is from Section B EPF Act 1991. Employees are required to remit EPF contribution based on this schedule. Nevertheless, the minimum age for contributing is determined by the Children and Young Person Employment Act 1966, which is 13 years old. At the same time, individuals can contribute until they reach the age of 75. However, employers are not allowed to calculate the employers' and employee share based on exact percentage as set for salaries that exceed 20,000 ringgit. For example, a monthly salary of 5,550 ringgit for an employer's share of 12% is 672 ringgit following the calculation based on the contribution rate of the third schedule. However, for calculation based on exact percentage, if the monthly salary is also 5,550 ringgit, the calculation for an employer's share of 5,550 ringgit multiplied by 12% is 666. To sum up, for calculation that align with the contribution rate below 20,000 ringgit, the total must follow the table of the third schedule. Hence, for above 20,000 ringgit, the calculation must be the exact percentage, where the monthly salary is multiplied by the percentage of contribution rate. However, the EPF contribution must be paid in only ringgit denomination and without any cent value. What if an employer fails to pay EPF contribution following the period? If the employer fails to pay the contribution within the prescribed period or is called as an overdue contribution, this contribution will be considered as an outstanding contribution. Do note that there may be late payment charge calculated using the lower dividend rate between simpanan konvensional and simpanan syariah for each year with an additional 1%. In addition, the minimum late payment fee that will be charged is 10 ringgit.
Now let's talk about the benefits. One important piece of law in Malaysia is the Employees Provident Fund (EPF Act 1991, which offer a variety of benefits targeted to improve the financial security of workers during their working years and beyond. This act requires employers and staff members to contribute to Provident Fund. Here, a two-round analysis of the primary benefit made possible by the act. The first one is for retirement saving. The major goal of the EPF Act is to assist employees in saving a substantial nest egg for retirement. This can be accomplished through a periodic contribution from both the employees and the employer with a specific proportion. Over the course of person's career, this contribution accumulates and earn dividend, resulting in a substantial financial reserve that will support the employee in their retirement. Next is the death benefit. The designated beneficiaries receive the accumulated fund in the employee's EPF account in the event of their death. This provides the family members of the deceased employee have enough money to support themselves, helping them to manage their living expenses and preserve their level of life. It also ensures the employee's dependents receive ongoing financial support. Thirdly, withdrawal for particular purpose. The EPF allow for withdrawal under certain conditions, allowing employees to access their asset for necessary needs without having to wait until retirement. These withdrawals are controlled to ensure that they are used for meaningful and justified reasons such as housing, education, medical care, and Hajj. One of the most significant withdrawals allowed is housing-related expenses. This regulation promotes home ownership and allow employees to secure and improve their living condition without incurring excessive debt. Employees can also use their EPF saving to pay for education-related expenses. This covers higher education tuition fees, as well as other costs such as buying an academic book. EPF enables withdrawal that cover essential illness treatment, medical procedure, and healthcare services for employees and their families. This benefit serves as a safety net during health crisis, ensuring that employees can receive critical medical care without incurring financial difficulties. The last one is Hajj. There are special provisions for employees who intend to perform the Haji pilgrimage. The EPF authorizes withdraw for this reason to assist employees in completing their religious responsibilities. Now, let's move to the next presenter.
The Employee Provident Fund is a cornerstone of the country's social security systems, designed to ensure that workers have sufficient savings for retirement. The EPF really focused on the financial literacy, educating members about the importance of savings and smart financial planning. Actually, the EPF law in Malaysia largely achieved its purpose providing a structured and reliable retirement saving mechanisms. However, continuous efforts to improve coverage, adequacy of savings, financial literacy, and adaptability to changing economic conditions are necessary to enhance the system effectiveness and ensure it meets the long-term needs of retirees. Now, let's talk about coverage. The EPF covers a vast majority of the Malaysian workforce, including most private sector's employees and some public sector's employees. While efforts are being made to include informal sector's workers and the self-employed, there are still needs for improvement in some cases. Did you know that only 60% of Malaysia's 70 million labour force is covered by the EPF? The EPF Chief Executive Officer, CEO, which is Ahmad Zulkarnain Ont, called this is worrying. He said the figure was also low when compared to the global average of 68%, Astro Awani reported. In comparisons, only 49% of the workforce in Thailand and 43% of the workforce in Vietnam are protected. The majority of the workforce that are not protected are those in the informal sector, including freelancers and those who are self-employed, like gig workers. Since both employees and employers contribute to the EPF, these mandatory contributions ensure steady saving accumulations. When members reach retirement age, they can choose how to withdraw their savings, whether in lump sums or periodic payments. In this case, 75% of members who had retired and taken out their saving in a lump sums ran out of money within only 5 years. However, due to in some cases that members also can make pre-retirement withdrawal for housing, education, and medical expenses, so that many Malaysians also might fall short of sufficient retirement saving. Nearly 40% of Malaysians lack of retirement plan, with only 4.0 able to afford retirement, as reported by the EPF data. The pandemic worsens this with significant EPF withdrawals, pushing some members into poverty before retirement. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim warned that 71% of EPF members under 55 years old don't have enough savings to avoid poverty. The number RM240,000 savings goal by age 55 dropped from 36% to 29%. Shockingly, as of December 2022, 51% have less than 10,000 saved, which would only provide RM42 a month over 20 years. Anwar fears more withdrawals could harm EPF ability to invest and pay dividends. He calls for strengthening Malaysian social security systems, urging EPF and the government to work together for a secure future as Malaysian ages. The EPF law in Malaysia also helps people save retirements with a structured approach. However, Malaysians are advised to save RM900,000 and RM1 million for retirement in the next few decades, on like 20 or 30 years. But it's not easy because everyone manages their EPF differently, based on their lifestyle. This affects how ready they are for retirement. As the conclusions, the Employees Provident Fund (EPF) in Malaysia serve a crucial role in helping workers save for retirement. It ensures a structured and reliable savings mechanism for a large part of the workforce. By covering many employees across sectors, EPF provides benefits like mandatory savings contributions from both employees and also the employers. In addition, by achieving its purpose, EPF helps retirees maintain financial stability and independence during their golden years. With all the continuous efforts of improvement, ensure Malaysians have a more secure and comfortable retirement.
And that's all from us. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum.